So week one of College Comp isn't meant to overwhelm you, and I hope that isn't your experience. That's not my intent. There will be more overwhelming weeks than others, let's say, but this isn't one of them. We're getting everything sort of situated this week. So what do I want you to do by Tuesday, September 6th? Well, first of all, I want you to get into the habit of expecting Tuesdays to be due dates. And sort of hand in hand with that is get started early on your assignments if you're at all able, and I hope many of you, most of you are, because what I don't want are a bunch of panicked emails on Mondays about what am I supposed to do for this assignment tomorrow. My answer is going to be, well, you should have started that assignment last week. I'm very much a take your medicine, eat your vegetables sort of professor, and so hopefully you don't learn that the hard way, but if you are a responsible, reliable student, that won't be an issue. So anyhow, I'm very happy to see so many of you up here. I can't really see which ones you are outside of being a narwhal or a nigh cat or a rabbit. But I'm happy that students are already accessing some of my materials, which means you're hitting the ground running, which is a great way to begin. So you're watching the screencast, so you're kind of ticking off item number one. We have this semester-long course calendar that I want you to become familiar with. Let's see if anybody is in here looking at the big picture. This calendar, and there we are, we got more than a few students in here already. Awesome. You have all of your major assignments here on this big calendar grouped according to sort of the units. We have the, remembering who you were unit that we're going to start this semester off with, searching for causes, the research project, oops, let's get it down there, and then the collaborative reflective unit. I like it better like that. So what I can show you here is that you have active links for all the week's materials. You don't have to care about my job like I do, but trust me when I say that this being able to provide you with every single week's worth of agenda items on the very first day of class is a lot of work for me, and I take a lot of pride in what I do, so that comes to me very sort of honestly, I guess. So anyway, you can click around in there and see quite literally everything that is coming your way this semester. Not to click back and forth like that. I'm a little out of practice. I haven't recorded a screencast in a couple of months, but you can see all the due dates on here, and those due dates are also going to be available to you in Angel, in the Angel calendar, so that you see them coming. So put them in your day planner. These dates aren't going to change. I don't change my due dates at all for any real reason. So you can put them in your, I use the calendar in my iPhone like most humans, I suppose. You should too, so that if you have a busy week, not only in my class, but in other classes, you can see that week coming from sort of miles away. And you can maybe tell your family, leave me alone. I'm going to Starbucks for, the entire weekend. I will see you Sunday night or whatever, so that you can do your best in this class. And of course, I want you to succeed in your other classes. So check out the calendar. If you have any questions about this, about it, or anything else, let me know. There's a typo. Come on, English professor. All right. Preparatory materials, overview of College Comp. I've created a little website here on Medium that is the basics of this class that have to do with access to technology, work ethic, what a typical week will look like, my love of Google Drive that we'll talk about soon, grading and feedback, blah, blah, blah. I hate when professors or anybody talks about the things that are on the screen so directly. So read this carefully. There's, most of my class policies are in here, and you're responsible for them, okay? What else? Let's see. Oh, I don't have an Angel tab open. Let me do this real quick. Oh, how exciting for you to watch me log in. This is what Angel looks like on my end of things. Let's see. Okay, you can see you are not my only class. I have about 100 of you this semester. So let me guide you a little bit here. So under Lessons in Angel, you'll locate and read these documents about high school versus college. So you go to the Lessons tab up here on the top. College versus high school expectations, how college is different, the transition to college writing, what is academic writing. I'm not going to get into those. I feel like they speak for themselves. So make sure you read those, and I guess absorb them in a way that comes through in your work and your efforts and your attitude and your general, I would say, disposition towards this class and what it expects out of you. You're sitting in a high school, yes, but you're also sitting in a college classroom, so to speak. So my expectations will reflect that always from now till the end of our time together. Another website that I want you to read is my guide to writing. Now this is a little further down the road for us, but AKA things that I won't be repeating. as comments on your essays, but important things nonetheless. So lots of important rules in here, and also some very nice looking art. There's a Salvador Dali painting. Just about the approach to writing, about how to think about who you're writing to and what you're writing for. Every piece of writing, not to teach you much in this particular screencast, but every piece of writing has sort of an audience in mind and a purpose in mind. Even your text messages, your more casual communications have an audience and a purpose. And same thing is true for college writing. So get familiar with your Stark State email. Please get in the habit of using either your Stark State email, which is powered through Gmail, or if you have a personal Gmail account, feel free to use that this semester. I really don't care which. You are going to be much better off getting comfortable with the whole Google thing that I'm going to be using this semester. So just make sure you can kind of know how to access your Stark State account, because I will send some emails to the entire class, and that's where those will land, is in your Stark State email. So you need to at least be in the habit of checking it. And you can see it's in sort of pink here, so it's important. Don't use Angel to check or send emails. I'm not the biggest fan of Angel, so you're not going to have to be either. Let's just say that. Don't use Angel to send or check for emails or messages from me. I'm not interested in using your Angel inbox. All right, how we doing? Feel free to take a break. We're about halfway through, a little bit, maybe on the downside of things. So if you ever want to pause the screencast, feel free to absorb them at your own rate. So what else here? Share your Google Drive folder with me. So I have some steps here. I feel like they speak for themselves. Let me show you my inbox here. Check it out. I'm already getting plenty of invitations to collaborate. You see, shouts to Connor, shouts to Trey, Alex, Shane, Terrence, Cassandra, I might as well do them all now, Daniel, Nicole, Rachel, Molly, Brianna, Alec, Gianna, Nathan, Vincent, Brandon, and Michaela. So thank you for already sending me these invites, and the rest of you, while you're watching this, you'll be following these simple instructions. I feel like you probably know Google better than I do, so I'm not going to belabor these points either. What I will say, though, if you go by something else, if your name is Ed, if you go by Ed but your name is Edward, you don't have to put Edward on your folder title. You can put down whatever you want me to call you. That really helps me early on in the semester, because I have a lot of names to learn, and a lot of I don't have very many ways to learn them, I suppose, other than what you choose to share with me. So whatever you go by is fine. Hey, if people call you Big Money, I will also call you Big Money. So whatever. I'm easy like that. Essay 1, let's talk about that real quick. Essay 1 is a timed essay. It's sort of it's of a piece of a larger plan in my department to give you practice in all different sorts of writing, and one of those is, like it or not, in college you're probably going to have a few sort of essay exams or places where timed writing is important. So we have this assignment. It works a little better in face-to-face classes, I will say. However, we online teachers are required to assign it, so you're going to use it as a way to introduce yourself to me. Write it in an hour. Okay. This assignment kind of speaks for itself. I'm not going to be grading you according to your common usage or your verbiage or anything like that just yet. But you're going to basically tell me kind of 5 things. And the 5th one is sort of anything else. So it's really 4 things, and then anything else you want to tell me about yourself and your sort of situation. And, I hope you'll write it as well as you can. And I will grade it this week. What you'll do is you will use Google Docs to compose this essay, and then you will place it. Get in the habit of doing this. There's a spreadsheet. You put your name, you put your school, and then you will link to your first essay. Now, hopefully you're pretty up to date on how Google works, but you have some sharing options. Okay, you can always limit. I know yours is going to look a little different from mine, especially if you're using Stark State's Gmail, but you can limit who can see your essay 1. Basically what I do is I get into the spreadsheet, and it'll be full, by Tuesday the 6th. I grade them as soon as you post them, so do not post your essay until it is ready to be graded. That's going to be a policy from here on out. As soon as it's on there, that's your way of saying, Steve, I am ready for you to grade my work. So again, it's the first week, so you don't have to nail all this stuff, perfectly just yet. But the sooner you're better at it, the better. Let's see. Many of you, most of you, we'll talk about this a little more in weeks to come, are going to use APA for the entire semester, unless you are basically one of 3 majors: English major, English Lit, and I think journalism, something like that. Those are the only 3 that use MLA documentation. The rest of you are going to be using APA, so get in the habit of, title pages and, no first names, that sort of thing. Let's see, number 8. I know this is a long screencast. I don't like them to be long, but hey, it's the first one. So this is a nice way for all of us to get to know each other. On the spreadsheet, you're going to share your personal information. I just created a Google slideshow for mine, but there are lots of other ways to share your stuff. If you want to make a video and post like a vlog to this, oh, please do. I would love that sort of thing. I think I'm going to make a video screencast here shortly as well. But I don't want it to overwhelm you with work here either. So let's see if mine will load. Okay, there we go. So it's only got to be a few slides long, and if you look at the assignment, a couple of pictures so that everybody can sort of know who they're sort of talking to when they look at each other's work or interact in any ways in our class. At least 4 sentences about yourself, including your school, so I know where you're coming from. If you want to share any other info, I put my Twitter, my Instagram up there. If you're one of those people that likes, more followers and follow backs and all that, go right ahead and do it. Share that info, and please be mature. Make sure that everyone can view. If I click on your link and I can't view it, that's sort of a pointless assignment. So make sure that you can also do this thing here with the bit.ly, bit.ly.com. Will of course shorten your URL so you don't have this like massive URL after your school name. But just a little bit about yourself, your contact info, and I don't imagine you have much professional info, but you can see my email, my Twitter, my Instagram, where my office is, my YouTube channel, a little bit about me. There's me running many races. I'm a big-time runner, so if you're at all a runner, I hope you'll let me know that. And my family, my lovely family, and just a little bit about us and what we do and where we're at in our lives together. So anyway, it's just a nice way for everyone to kind of get to know each other a little bit. Okay, kind of rounding third here. Trust me, we're almost done. You have a textbook, Composition of Everyday Life. It's a wonderful textbook. It was written by a couple of guys that I went to grad school with, actually, John and John, and we're going to use it for many different purposes this semester. For now, we're going to use chapters 1 and 18 because those are really beginning conversations about not only where do our ideas come from for our writing, but how do we develop a voice that's not only distinct and unique to you, that is sort of true and authentic to the person that you are, but how do we get it to fit into sort of the larger milieu of college level academic discourse. So 2 really important chapters here. And inconsistently formatted, I might say. That's poor form on me, as usual. Sort of, I already said this, but you'll be using MLA or APA for the entire semester. Let me get rid of this because our department just kind of changed that policy, and I need to change my agenda to reflect that. If you're watching this before Monday the 29th, you can't get an Angel yet. I'm not allowed to release Angel any earlier than 12:01 Monday morning for reasons passing my understanding. Anyway, once you are able to access Angel, you should check it out. I think I already showed you a little bit of it here. It's nothing overly exciting. I guess there's a backpack. There's some clip art in here. There's Mount Rushmore. Fantastic. What else? Look around Angel. And just like in the calendar, you can always click on the different weeks here. At the end of every week's agenda, you're going to be able to click ahead to the following week. And yes, the due date should be correct. The assignment should be active and pretty accurate. I tend to record the screencast the week that they're close to the week that I sort of publish the agenda, because you'll always get an announcement from me and Angel about the next agenda being sort of publishable, available. You can always get a look at what is, likely to be coming down the pike, although I reserve the right to sort of tweak it as I see fit. So what else can I tell you? It's a lot to read, a little bit to write, and some opportunities for creativity, at least with this personal slideshow here. So, I like creativity. I like students who, aren't afraid to share some measure themselves in, even in an online setting, which can be sort of a colder or a distant setting. I do try to cultivate a sense of warmth in my classes. If, you're finding that to be the case, or if you're not, please know my email is always on. It goes, of course, to my phone like everyone else. Sucking air right now. So if you have any questions or if there's ever anything I can help you with, please let me know. I'm really looking forward to working with you this semester. And these go 15 minutes, and I have 9 seconds left. So I think I've done my job here. Take care, and here's to a great semester, everybody.